Jack here for just a quick life update. In case you were wondering, there hasn't been any videos posted in a little while due to the fact that I had my eye surgery. For those who don't know, I announced back in my New Year's goal, my goal is to get eye surgery done in my left eye due to the fact that I have keratoconus, which is a disease where the cornea is thinning and eventually, as it thins out, it goes out and it becomes more and more blurry. So I was at the point where I could really not see a lot of things. Like, I had such a hard time driving. I had such a hard time seeing the computer, and I'm a developer, so that's important. So for the past few days, I've been, just laying around healing from that surgery. And I just want to give an update for those who are going to go through cross-linking surgery, what it's like, what my feelings for it, and how am I doing now, about 4 days after getting the surgery and about 2 days before my follow-up, where I can get the bandage contact out. So all the way back at the beginning, let's start there. How did I find out I have keratoconus? Well, as you can see, I wear glasses. Over time, my glass prescription, especially my left eye, was really bad. And at first I thought, you know what, maybe it's just time to get new glasses. Even though I got new glasses like a year ago, maybe it's time. And when I went back to check, they're like, oh, it's progressing really bad. You need to see an ophthalmologist, which specializes in eye diseases. And I was like, I've never seen someone who specializes in eye disease. What do you think's going on? He's like, you have a high chance of having keratoconus due to this. I'm like, oh, can I just get a glass lens? He's like, no, this won't fix it. You can't just get glasses. Go talk to him. Go see, the ophthalmologist. So I did. The next month, I went to the ophthalmologist. He officially diagnosed me with keratoconus right at a pretty good period. It was at the point where it's getting noticeably bad, but not to the point where, I'm going to need a cornea transplant. I can just do cross-linking surgery, cross-linking, which is a surgical procedure, rather than having a whole transplant, which would save me a lot less money, or a lot less money and a lot less pain. So I wanted the surgical procedure for cross-linking. The very next month, I got laid off. I lost my insurance. I could no longer, afford the surgery. And at that time, when they told me about the surgery, the cost was about $2,000 with insurance. $2,000. That's just what came out of pocket. And that's what I read online. Usually out of pocket, it's $2,000 to $4,000 per eye. So it's, on the lower end of the range. $4,000 without insurance, or what was it, $35,000 without insurance, $2,000 with insurance. So that was the cost. I lost my job, couldn't get it, so I kept holding it off. And at the time, my eye got significantly worse. Things were getting more and more blurry. I couldn't even read a book without my vision being bad. And so I put on my New Year's goal. Hey, my New Year's goal: get a job and then get insurance so that way I can do this surgery. Well, I got a job literally a month later after getting laid off. I was able to get scheduled for the surgery, and I did so. So that was it. I paid the $2,000. I did one payment of $900, one payment of $1,100, total $2,000 post insurance. Ouch, my wallet, but that was needed. So let's get to the day of surgery. As always, with surgery and stuff, you need someone to drive you there. So I scheduled it on a Friday. That way my wife can take me over to the hospital. It wasn't a hospital. It's we have a specific eye surgery here in Illinois, a high surgical center, which is really specific and helpful in this case, because it was literally a 10-minute ride from my house. I'm like, oh wow, the whole area, the best surgical center, is literally down the street from me. How lucky. So my wife was able to take me there. I got checked in, and then I began the procedure. I'm not going to show the procedure. You can look it up online, but it is pretty kind of gross. Basically, the first thing they do is they make you take a Valium to help calm you down, get you nice and ready for the surgery. After the Valium kicks in, they then laid me down into this machine. The operator then came over, put numbing eye drops into my eye, and then used that stirrup, kind of like stretcher, I forgot what it's called, to basically hold my eye open. That kind of hurt. It just felt like just constant pressure. So once the eye was just held open, the doctor came in with the scraper and scraped the top layer of my eyeball. That kind of hurt. I can feel like the pressure of him. I didn't say it hurt. I mean, I felt the pressure. It felt like, someone scraping your eyeball. Of course, it's not going to feel great. So after they stripped out the eyeball, the nurse was basically there for every 2 minutes putting eye drops in my eye. And that was super painful because, I'm sitting laying there, I have a Valium, but you're not put under, so it's and you cannot move at all. My nose was itching, I had a little bit of a cough, I could not do any of that because, I had to keep my eye open, stay still, so that way all the drops got right to my eye. After 30 minutes of them putting drop after drop after drop in my eye every 2 minutes, the doctor came in, took a measurement with the machine. That turned out to be good. So then the machine just moved me over. And then the doctor basically put these yellow lights. I think this is riboflavin or something like that. Just this yellow injection into my eye. And then a giant bright thing just came in. I think it's an ultraviolet light to freeze the riboflavin. Again, I didn't really look into the whole surgical because a lot of that stuff kind of queases me out, not gonna lie. But I believe that was happening. So I had to keep completely still. Meanwhile, every time I coughed, the machine shut off. So he was keep still, Jack. I'm I have a cough. You can't keep completely still. If my eye moved, the machine would just jerk. And then he'll be hold still, Jack. And I'm I'm trying to. This is miserable. And that's the thing is, it was just kind of that pad they use at the doctor's office. I forgot what they call that bad thing, but it's a standard. It wasn't that toilet ring where it held her head in space. No, it was just a regular pad, so you could easily shift your head left and right, which would make the machine freak out. And if you coughed or moved too much, the machine would just shut off and turn it off, and he'll be you have to stay completely still while this dude's injecting stuff into your eye, and this bright, bright light just shines right into it. That was miserable. That was probably the worst part. You think it would be the scraping of the eyeball would be the part that would hurt the most? No, it was having to stay still while he was injecting that riboflavin straight into your eye and having that just ultraviolet, super bright light just shining straight through into your eyeball. So after that was done, he then took a measurement. It was all good. Took off the thing, put in a contact lens, the bandage contact lens, and then he sent you on your way. And before they do that, it's hey, these are the rules. Make sure you get to put these two eye drops. One's a numbing drop, one's a antibacterial one. Put them in 4 times a day. The first day you're gonna be in a dark room and not wanting to see the light. I thought, okay. So I rode it back home. I was this is not bad. Let me get some pizza. So I got some Chicago pizza, started eating it in my living room, and I was oh, it's a little bright in here. Let me put on my sunglasses. Started eating it, and then I was oh, it's a little bright. Let me turn off the blinds. Started eating it, and then I was by an hour after the surgery, I was this is miserable. I cannot see any light source. So what I ended up doing is I took my computer chair and I put it into the bathroom, and I was just sleeping in the bathroom. Any sort of light source was just intense. Even the crack of the window here, that would have been 10, 100 times more powerful. You could not stand any source of light. It was miserable. Eyeball was super dry. It's super itchy. You cannot touch any of it. So that was absolutely miserable. The night they give you just a Tylenol PM. You don't get any special drugs other than the eye drops. I looked online and some actually prescribed like, Tylenol 3 or something like that, a little bit more intense. I didn't get any of that. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm a lot younger, so my healing time would be a lot quicker. But anyways, I just did that. After after sleeping for the overnight, I woke up and I was able to see much, much better. To this day, 4 days later, I still can't look directly at not directly at the sun, but I have to keep the window shades down. I don't feel comfortable enough driving just because of the intensity and stuff. I have to dirt my eyes a lot. But overall, it's much better after day 4. I am comfortable enough sitting on the computer. I am comfortable enough to record and tell you this story on why I haven't been putting out videos, because of the surgery. So overall, yeah, it was 100% worth it. $2,000 is a lot, but saving your eyesight, it's worth everything. So after this point, I should say that now I'm 2 days before doing my final checkup with my doctor. He's going to remove the protective contact on my eye, and then we're going to wait a few months, check my vision, see if it's improved, which there's a very small chance that your keratoconus will actually improve your vision. Not 100% chance it's not going to be back to where it was, but there's a chance that it may improve a little bit. Afterwards, they're going to fit you for a lens, like a hard lens or like a mixed-use lens. And that lens you're going to have to wear every day, and it lasts a year. And that lens is going to be about $1,000. So, yay for more money coming out of my pocket. But that's the process. That was the journey of my keratoconus. That's my surgery. If you are undergoing this surgery, do not worry. The first day was miserable. After I had my toenail removed, my big toe. I had like an ingrown toenail. I had to go through a surgical procedure for that. That was probably like 10 times worse than my eyeball. The worst thing about the eyeball is that you can't really go outside in the sunlight, which sucks because it's beautiful spring weather here in the Chicagoland area. And, a lot of times you look online, people say like 3-4 weeks to 1 or 2 months before they felt comfortable driving. So that's the one thing I'm hoping will improve is my sensitivity to light, so that way I can go out and drive. But other than that, really, it's not that bad. I honestly thought it would be way worse. For a surgical procedure that's scraping the first layer of your eye and replacing it with riboflavin and other things, I thought it would be way more painful. And my doctor says that too. He was like, most people say that they think it's going to be way more painful than it actually is. The sounds of like someone jabbing your eyeball and injecting a bunch of stuff. It's actually not that bad. My toe was way worse, way, way worse. So yeah, after all this time, after the 4 days, the only thing that bugs me is the fact that I'm not sure if you can even see it in this light, but the fact that I still have the bandage on, that's annoying because it dries out so easily. I still have to go through the whole four times a day of using the 2 different types of eye drops, as well as the other eye drops every hour. That process is going to continue on until I see my doctor Wednesday, where he can take it out or replace it if it needs more healing time. But considering the fact that I'm young, chances are that the eye will be healed way faster. So yeah, again, if you are worried about the surgery, do not worry. This is pretty easy. Easy. And like I said, I'm lucky in that I had my wife here. She helped me out a lot, give me the drops, when I was stuck in bed. Oh, the one thing that also kind of sucks nowadays is I still have to wear the eye shield when sleeping. Basically, it's like a hard plastic you put over your eye. That way you don't brush against it when you sleep. That thing sucks. Because it's like you have this thing just taped to your face. And it's the surgical tape, which, after a while, it kind of irritates your skin. So it's like I have to wear this stupid big thing on my face that's irritating it. That makes it hard to sleep because you can't really move around a lot. I hate this thing. But again, it's to protect your eye, protect your vision. So with that done, that will actually be probably my biggest surgical need for at least the next couple of years, because after that I'm basically healthy apart from my obesity and my sleep apnea test, which I'm going to go through in a later video. So that was it. I just want to give an update on why I haven't put out videos recently. It's because I couldn't see between work and this surgery. You know, it's been a lot for me, and I had to sleep, so it's just been a lot. But I'm hoping that starting today, I'm going to put out more and more videos constantly, go through my backlog, update all the scripts, go through my 30 days, and go through some other video plans. So if you guys have any ideas for any videos you want me to do, then please leave a message down below in the comments. I will go through pretty much each and every comment that's left for me and talk about it. You know, I'll respond to every comment. If it's something that like, hey Jack, I hate you, I'll be like, cool. If it's like, hey Jack, you're awesome, I'll be like, double cool. Yeah, I'll respond to pretty much every comment. So leave them. If you have video suggestions, let me know. I'll pretty much do anything that isn't illegal and won't physically hurt me. Follow me on X and Instagram at TrueJackJank. Visit my website at jack-jenkins.com. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Give all my videos a like. I put out a video supposed to be every single Friday, but with life and stuff, that hasn't been the case. But I'm hoping to jump back on it now that I have an eye that's, you know, in the process of healing and eventually will work. So I'll be actually able to see some of the screen after I get my lens. So a couple more months from now, I'm going to have beautiful, perfect vision. I'll be able to actually see the screen perfectly. Things will be great. Until then, things are a little blurry, but a lot better than they were now that I got my surgery. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Have an amazing day.